is my second year with the Lizards now in New York. Most of my teammates live in Manhattan. Brooklyn's more my pace. It's just like better transition for me than going completely into the iron jungle where there's no grass or like parks nearby. There's just better neighborhood vibe here in Williamsburg. Everything's handcrafted, and it's kind of how my career is. You have to be creative, discovering new areas to practice, doing things differently. Without a giant practice facility, it requires you to get out onto the park like this. A wall's a wall, grass is grass. This is my favorite handball court. When I first start, I'll count reps, making sure I'm like overhand for 100 to start, then sidearm for 100, then underhand for 100. And that's important because that's how you develop skill. It's the whole game, is having a good stick. Being able to cradle, throw fakes, get the defender off. If you have the best stick on your team, you will make the team. I started playing lacrosse when I was 12. The first game I stepped out to, my first shift I caught a pass, took a big wind up, ball slipped out of my stick, ball was behind me, defender went and picked it up, went the other way, and they scored. And I remember coming off the field just being like, whoa, I don't know how to play lacrosse. I worked on it nonstop, and I committed to it, so I got better each week and ended up really being the game that I fell in love with.
Rabil, like he shot out of a cannon.
I was really fortunate looking back at my youth career to be a part of so many great teams. Went through the recruiting process, decided to go to Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. From there on, I was drafted into the professional league by the Boston Cannons.
Inside the arc, Boston still without a two-point shot this year, and Rabil has a hat trick. Rabil, the captain, inside the arc and a goal. He is fun to watch.
The league MVP and best player on the planet.
By virtue of that level of competitiveness, I almost feared losing more than I enjoyed winning.
Outstanding once again.
And in 2014, there's an MLL break in July for the World Games, and we had arguably the best team that was ever put together. We were just steamrolling teams through the tournament. We got to the finals and we lost to Canada, and it was a big upset. And so that was incredibly hard because as a leader of that USA team, and then losing that game felt like the lacrosse world was collapsing in on me. And then 2 weeks later was the last game for the Cannons, and we had to win to make the playoff. I heard a pop.
Paul Rabil lifting off at halftime. It's not good news for the Cannons.
Once the adrenaline stops and you're just like standing there, your foot swells up, and I couldn't put any pressure on it. I broke my foot.
You know definitively he will not play next week?
Definitively, yes.
It's an unfortunate loss.
From a career standpoint, professionally speaking, that was my low point. So I remember just like sitting at home, just being like, oh my gosh, this might be it for me. I think I'm gonna hang it up. The mental aspect, I really struggled. I couldn't sleep at night. It was awful. All I was thinking about was losing those championships. I had reached out to my agency and was like, I want a sports therapist. So I worked with him a lot, recovering from my foot, talking through the World Games, talking through just like the pressure that I put on myself, the challenges that I face. So embracing imperfection has been something that I'm starting to remodel my life around versus when I was younger, like being a perfectionist. Meditation is a great way to remain focused and present. That's how I rebounded, through like mental conditioning. So I think what's helped me now, if you have a bad play, rather than being like, how did that happen? Look at it as an opportunity to do something great. So you turn the ball over, look at it as an opportunity to get the ball back. Take a bad shot, look at it as an opportunity the next time the ball comes around to like score a goal. Because in the past, I rarely ever scored goals after bad shots. And it helps you stay present in the game, which the best players are just like in the moment.
All right, guys, let's bring it right here.
All right, team on three. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
Yeah, boys.
And New York is going to do it for the first time in a dozen years. The Lizards are MLL champions. The long wait on Long Island is over.
I don't know where my career is going to go professionally. The more I can do for our sport will continue to inspire the younger audience. That helps grow the game.
All right, this is our fucking. I'm gonna be first place in the whole league after tonight. Oh, yeah. All right, everybody together. Here we go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Here we go. Don't do it better. Team on 3, 1, 2, 3.
I want to be thoughtful of the legacy that I leave behind, leaving a big impact on our sport. And I think that's what I've done towards the second half of my career.
Number 99.
I think I'll always be involved in this sport.
It's cool, I think, to like be able to be a powerful female climber. I always feel like if you're not failing, then you're not trying hard enough. When I'm in those situations in climbing, I might be scared, but I'm not scared enough to just like give up. If you want it to work, you have to make it work. And I think that's so true in climbing, and obviously that's true in life.